All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach Bahashem, Ruach HaKadosh. Real quick, I'm going to do a reaction to Curry Holcomb 5150 show. The reason why I like listening to his show, and I believe he got the best podcast out here right now, because it touched on all topics. And one thing about being in this truth, as being a man in the truth, we need to touch on every aspect of life. And he do that with his podcast. And I want you to pay attention to what he's going to say, and then we're going to go to the scriptures to back up what he said, because a lot of you guys, I feel bad for you because of the mindset that you have. And I get it. I get it. A great many of our people, especially you men in the so-called black community, was reared up by women, and this have been somewhat used against you in society. It has weakened you, right? It has made you sedated and docile. It has sort of emasculated you one way or other. And so a lot of you guys, you're weak when it comes to life, and you're weak when it comes to being about business, and you're weak when it comes to building. This is why it's very, very imperative to always have a man around your children, and particularly a man who's high value, right? Who know how to build, who know how to get it out the mud, so that that same spirit and that energy will rub off on your children, especially your boys. But let me let him cook, and we'll get to it.
I agree. We out here in this world, we have to make a living. We have to find a way to make the ends meet in this world. And especially if you got a family, if you don't make the ends meet and you have a family, that's a very stressful position to be in. The powers that be know this, which is why when you have a regular job where you're working for someone where they get rich, you don't get rich, that's bad enough. But you know the worst thing about working a job where you have to smile off immoral behavior? You know the worst thing about working a job where you got to smile off immoral behavior every day? You are trained as a man to be a bitch, and a woman is trained to be a man.
Ouch. And I'm not saying ouch for me, I'm saying ouch for a lot of you guys. Oh man, let's rewind this back a little bit. We got too many bitch made men.
The powers that be know this, which is why when you have a regular job where you're working for someone where they get rich, you don't get rich, that's bad enough. But you know the worst thing about working a job where you have to smile off immoral behavior? You know the worst thing about working a job where you got to smile off immoral behavior every day? You are trained as a man to be a bitch, and a woman is trained to be a man.
And then you got a lot of guys out here wondering why they can't get women, or wonder why they can't deal with certain women. Huh? That's because you, as Corey Holcomb just said, you have been trained to be a bitch. And whether you believe it or not, women pay attention to how you move and operate on your job. It's just a reality. They pay attention to that. And if they know that you going to your job and bojangling and doing all that buffoonery, they don't respect you when you come home. They don't. Yeah, they'll go along and use your money. They'll go along and get everything they can out of you, extract all the resources and whatnot out of you. But at the same time, they don't respect you because they know that you have been trained to be a bitch. Bitch. And on their end of the spectrum, they are acting hard and they are masculine. And you like, I don't know how to deal with a masculine. You don't know how to deal with a masculine woman or a woman that's operating in masculinity because you lack it. If you're truly masculine, especially anointed and masculine, when I talk about anointed, a man in the truth and masculine, a woman who tried to be masculine automatically get back in her feminine state when she's around you. And if she don't get in her feminine state, guess what happened? She off to the next guy, or she move around, like the young folks like to say, move around. They move around. They don't hang there. But if they're going to stay there, they know if I'm going to deal with him, I know I have to automatically get back into my feminine state. Or like they say, I have to get into my soft era because they know you're not going for that shit. But when you're a man, you can't turn on masculinity and turn on emasculation. No, it's either one or the other. And this is why I tell you all the time, be masculine no matter what. I don't care you're on a job, stand up for yourself. I don't care if you got stand up for yourself at all times. And I just did a message on this channel talking about the love of money. See, the love of the money got a lot of you guys being emasculated, as Corey Holcomb is pointing out. Let's get some more of this. We're going to go to the scriptures.
At these jobs. Because if you have a woman who is masculine and she's forced to smile and be phony, she starts conducting herself in a masculine manner. Because she's like, and when you have a man who's forced to be phony, he starts to act feminine. So I heard this. When you have a job that pays you good and it makes you do and be around immoral things, but you won't leave the job because you need that money, they call it the golden handcuffs, I understand.
And a lot of guys have golden handcuffs on them. Golden handcuffs on them. Because they too busy. I don't want to lose my 401k. I don't want to lose my retirement. But you allow these people to treat you like a little bitch. Okay, I know this rough, but like the scripture say, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. And sometimes you have to be rude like this to wake you up. And so now you're going to be sitting up in your mind, you know what they is right. I know. Ain't no amount of money in the world should be allowing you or making you or forcing you to walk around here like a little damn bitch. The Most High ain't create you to be that. The Most High created you to be a man. But you walking around because you say, I don't want to lose my money. I got a good position. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm an electrical engineer. So I let these people talk to me any kind of way. I let these people treat me any kind of way. But I make this amount of money. What is we talking about? Don't you know in the realm of the spirit, and according to the laws of the universe, you have been tagged, you have been marked. And women, I'm trying to tell you, they surely know when you that way. They can sniff it. They can sense it. That's why guys that's real masculine, getting out the mud, establishing themselves, got a purpose, got a talent, got a skill, right? Who is a man of the truth. These women are attracted. They are drawn to us because it's magnetic. Because we're not moving out of order. We are moving in order. And when you're moving in order, your spirit, your mind, your body is in alignment with what the Most High said. He will draw everything unto you. This is a universal law. You can't put two magnets together. No, they don't work like that. So you moving like a woman and you want women to come and be with you. You want women to respect you. And a lot of you guys, you give all your work, you give all of your toiling, you get all your hard work, you get all of your energy to these jobs, and you allow yourself to be handcuffed for years, and you never amount to anything because you so fixated on having a good income. I'll let people know on the job, you ain't gonna talk to me no any kind of way because this money ain't worth it. I remember on one job, all right, they were talking about how I cussed out one of the managers. I cussed that manager out. My brother, he listened to the videos, he'll tell you. Give no damn, you ain't gonna talk to me in no any kind of way. I'm the child of the Most High. Huh? If he don't take care of me, then it's not meant for me to be taken care of. I'm like Job chapter 1. I receive good and I receive evil at the hands of the Most High. Those of you in the book, you know what I'm talking about. But read Job chapter 1. He got on his wife. Should not we receive good only? That's how I am. Well, I ain't about to let nobody talk to me any kind of way. I ain't about to let nobody try to emasculate me because you think you got a higher position. Fuck you in that position. You think Yahweh let anybody talk to me any kind of way, huh? He told him in John chapter 8, you trying to come out and listen, you are nothing but a devil. Go read John chapter 8. He said, you are some liars. Children of liars, children of the devil. Huh? In Luke chapter 13, speaking about the king, this is the king who have authority to make a decree and that people will be put to death. Matter of fact, this is the same king that said kill all the children to keep Yahushua from being born. You think Yahushua was afraid of him? Yahushua said, no, go tell that damn fox. Y'all allow yourself to be emasculated. Huh? Now, it's one thing people talking about you behind your back. You don't got to address everything. And let me give you some wisdom. You don't got to address anything, but somebody trying to reduce your manhood, somebody trying to reprimand you with some choice words and trying to belittle you. No, that's the way. No, we ain't going to be doing this. I don't care what position you hold. Huh? At one job, a vice president came and thought he was, who the fuck you think you talking to? It was the vice president. No, I ain't going to be doing that. So you have to have an abundant mindset. You have to teach people how to treat you. Huh? You just can't have an abundant mindset when it comes to women. You got to have an abundant mindset when it comes to these jobs. And most of all, outside of that job, you need to be building something monumental where you don't have to go back to that job. See, all of y'all put all of y'all efforts, y'all creative ability into these jobs. And wonder why you're not doing anything monumental. Let's get some more.
That's the golden handcuffs. People who are in a position where they don't want the golden handcuffs are a lot more respectable to me than the people who live for 30 years with the golden handcuffs on. And that's not to diss nobody.
That's not to diss nobody at all. He's not dissing nobody. He talk about respectability. A person that's out here getting out the mud, that's trying to find their own way and doing it their own way without allowing themselves to be emasculated on these damn jobs, he is to be more respected. That's why we teach y'all, listen, get to these jobs, live off bare minimum, and when you leave that job, whatever your passion is, whatever your purpose is, be building until you get to the point where you don't have to go back there. But see, too many of you don't want to build. You leave these jobs. You want to go to the club. You want to go hang out. You want to go turn up. You want to go out there and have your hot girl summer and wonder why you can't get away from these jobs because you're not doing anything that's meaningful.
But I'm just
And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are mad at Corey Holcomb, because he getting it out the mud. He's standing on his own 2 feet. He doing it his way.
Just saying, it's like to get out here and be what you need to be off on your own ability and what you can get is quite respectable. But to be out here and take what you're given and accept all the consequences that come with it, that's a form of slavery.
It is. These jobs are the new plantations. Do you hear me? These jobs is the new plantation. Okay? They is. And like Corey Holcomb is pointing out, they would handcuff you. Handcuff you, would be in the same position for 30 years. Even though you know you deserve a promotion, even though you know you deserve to be a manager, but they done emasculated you. They done golden handcuff you to the point that you're afraid to lose the jobs because you got people who's ignorant, giving you the wrong advice, giving you the wrong advice, talk about, don't you leave, you got too much and you too vested. Vested. I'm vested in. And a lot of times, I said this before, a lot of times y'all too invested in people who's dead. A lot of these jobs and corporations you working for, you still building, working on the vision of somebody that's already dead and gone, and you making their descendants more rich because you're afraid, I invested. I'm 20 years vested. I don't want to. What? You don't know where this society is going. You don't know what's coming down the pipe.
That's a form of slavery. If you're around something that you know is not going to get you treated a certain way, look, Abe and Nail don't know what the fuck they're doing back there. But I've been around them long enough where I look at them as my peoples.
Did you hear that? And that's one thing I appreciate about this brother. He look out for his people. If you his people, how many people in the industry looking out for their people? How many people was giving other people a lick? And not only giving them a lick, but giving them the opportunity to hit a lick. See, this is different. Let me break this down. Not only is they giving you a lick, but they are giving you the opportunity to hit a lick. Now, let's break this down. Giving you a lick is this. Just let's say I give you, let's say I give you $300. I done gave you a lick, right? But putting you in a position to hit a lick is different. I'm putting you in a position not only to give the lick, but to hit a lick that now you can stand on your own 2 feet. So this is what I appreciate about the brother Corey Holcomb. He give his people a lick, but he give them also visibility. He give them also responsibility so they can hit their own lick. You don't got too many people in the industry doing that at all because they are jealous, they are envious. But one thing he stressed all the time, that's why I say we're going to go to the scripture. One thing he stressed all the time, he have a talent. And he is the coldest comedian right now in the world, and he know this. And he know nobody can take that from him. And when you have a talent, when you have a skill, when you have a purpose that nobody can do anything about it, you're not afraid to give somebody a lick. You're not afraid to have somebody hit a lick.
Right.
Phil walked too slow.
That's it. I go look nosy. That's it.
So you about to go into some jokes. But let's go to the scriptures. Let's go to the scriptures. Now, one thing he stressed about, being a man is getting them golden handcuffs off of you. And I pray that the Most High help me to be able to help you get the golden handcuffs off of you to the best of my ability. Listen to the scripture. This go along with what he's saying. This go along with what he preached. And again, I believe a lot of people mad at him because one thing about Corey Holcomb, he preaches masculinity. He preaches preservation. He preaches standing on your own 2 feet. And he most definitely preached, don't sell your soul to the system for the dollar. And so to help you understand this, I'm going to bring you the scriptures to go along with how he put things in his words. But listen to what the scripture said. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 11. He that tills his land should be satisfied with bread. Now let's deal with this here. Now, it's one thing to go to job, and often, yes, we have to go to jobs until we able to be out there on our own doing what we need to do. But you can't get out there on your own. You can't leave your job. You got to keep looking to the system to help you because you refuse to do what the scripture tell you right here to do. Till your own land. Now, let's get some Hebrew background for this word till. Now, this word till is
Avad.
abad. It means to toil, work, serve, accomplish, do, let work, urge to work, make serve, take into service. You see that? Come up here in the Strong's, it says, expend considerable energy and intensity in a task or function. Now you see that. All of this is what this word till means. To toil, to work, to serve, to accomplish, to do, to let work, urge to work, to make serve, to take into service. It means to expend considerable energy, intensity into a task or function. So when the scripture said, till he that till his land, all of this tilling you're doing on other people's empire. You're tilling other people's vision. Okay? And to go back to what I said earlier in this video, you're doing it because you refuse to live our bare minimum. Why is it very necessary, prophet unto the nation, live our bare minimum? Because when you live our bare minimum, you don't put yourself in a position to work all that overtime. Now, it's one thing when overtime is mandatory, but it's all, contrary to it, or should I say it's all the way different when you are signing up for overtime. And a lot of you guys and women, you sign up for overtime because you have not learned how to live off bare minimum. You live off overtime money. And what happened when you working overtime? You're that much more tired. You have less energy. So when you come home after working 12 hours, you don't have no energy, you don't have no service to work your own land. But if you live off bare minimum and don't be out there taking all the overtime that's handed to you, you work your average 8-hour shift, you come home, you can at least dedicate 4 hours to your own land. And over time, we're dealing with accumulation. Over time, you can build that up, which you are tilling to the place where it replaces your 9 to 5. But you can't do that because you're not tilling your own land. The scripture give a commandment. He that till his own land should be satisfied with bread. When the last time you cultivated your skill, your talent, your purpose? When is the last time you cultivated what the Most High wants you to do? When is the last time you put in work for yourself? I know you're putting in work for all of these people that's pretty much dead, these corporations, Walmart, the big three, Henry Ford. You can keep going on and on. These people dead and gone. But yet you still tilling the land for them. And here it is, you're not tilling your own land, nor is you trying to leave a legacy for the people that's coming after you. You have to till your own land. I'm trying to help somebody. If you labor in your own land, guess what? You'll get fruit back from the labor in your own land. If you'll be disciplined in your own land, you'll start seeing increase in your own land. If you will invest in yourself, invest in your own skill, in your own talent, in your own purpose, outside of work, you will reap a return. You will reap dividends. But how many of you? Let's be real. Come on, come on, be real. How many of you really working on your own land? Huh? How many of you working on your own land? Like right now, I'm putting together some things. I'm getting some things together to literally till my own land. What I mean, see, a lot of you guys, you want to live in these communities. You want to live where they got the HOA. You want to live in these suburban areas. No. I'm going to set it up to get a piece of land, a nice house where I can literally till my own land. To the place where the land is generating wealth for me. Well, what are you talking about? Don't you know gardening? Huh? Don't you know wood shop on your own land? Huh? Don't you know all of that stuff can bring you dividends? Right? Don't you know that can bring generational wealth? But a lot of you don't think like this because you have been too caught up in America nightmare. They call it America dream. No, it's the America nightmare. But let me get back to the scripture. He that till his land should be satisfied with bread. But here come the problem. Let's finish it. But he that follow vain persons is void of understanding. Well, you sucking up to Corey Holcomb. No. I've been watching him for quite some time, 5 years plus. And the message has always been the same. That's why I appreciate it. Be a man. Don't let a woman dictate what you got going on. That's how you lose out. Stand on your own 2 feet. Don't be bound down to the system as a backdooria. Huh? Do something worthwhile. And so right here, this is what he said. But he that follow vain persons is void of understanding. See, you sit down and listen to all these content creators, all of these wannabes, these false doctors, allegedly that Brian woman. You listen to all these people and you're going nowhere. You're following vain person. Well, let's bring up the Hebrew for vain. Let's see. We're just doing teaching, man. Come on, why it take so long to pop up? I don't know what's going on. So the word vain means empty, vain, use of vessels, of ears of corn, of an empty, hungry soul. Got a lot of people out here hungry. I ain't just talking about just for food, but you're hungry. You want somebody to do something for you which you can do for yourself. When you gonna put me on? When you gonna let me do this? Everybody hating on me. Everybody talking about me. You following vain people. It's pertaining to the quality of space which is not occupied. Here go the Hebrew word right here.
Rick.
It means empty, unprincipled, vain. You see that? You're not following the principles that the Most High has put in this universe. You're not following the principles that he put in his word. You're not following the principles when it comes to wealth, when it comes to building an empire. You're not following the principles. And you're too busy not following the principle, but you're following vain people who is void of understanding. You see that? And what is a vain person? A vain person is somebody who has no substance, has no wisdom, has no knowledge of truth. Vain people, they don't do nothing but, live off hype and, emotions and entertainment. They live for gossip. You got a lot of people, especially these women, listen to these reality shows and whatnot. These people that sit up and lie when you should be using that time to till your own land. Every chance I get, you hear me? I'm working in my field. I'm working in my lane. I'm investing in my skills. I'm trying to build my brand. I'm studying this truth. I'm trying to develop my craft. I'm always trying to figure out how to be better at what I'm already good at. Too many vain people. Following the wrong stuff, following the wrong people, right? And wonder why you can't rule.